welcome to the Warrior Supercast. This is the program where we keep you connected to what's happening in the Winton Woods School District. And today we have a little bit of a crossover program because we're going to connect with how Forest Park is partnering with the school district. We have in the studio Officer Wilson and Sergeant Nared. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
And we're going to talk about CPR, but this is not a health program, so keep watching. This is, the CPR stands for something else, and it stands for a project that you're doing with the students. So, Officer Wilson, why don't you start us off and tell us what the name of that project is?
CPR stands for Creating Positive Relationships with the youth. So the purpose of this program is to build some bridges between the youth of Winton Woods and our police department.
And Sergeant Nared, what age group is this for?
This is geared toward the middle school students, so 7th and 8th grade. So they're probably between the ages of 12 and 14.
And what makes that such a good age program, age bracket to start this with?
Well, we just feel like they're at that age to where we want to bridge that gap with them. We want to build the relationships and get a rapport with them. So we felt like it was just a very good age group to start with this program.
Tell me a little bit more about the specific things you do with the kids to help them create those positive relationships.
Currently, we have a program that is designed to take the kids to an NBA game. Some of the youth have never been outside of Winton Woods or outside of Cincinnati. So this program is geared towards kids that you have to be doing okay academically,
Okay.
but you do not have to have straight A's to be able to participate in this program. It is geared towards kids doing well in school. We do some a random lottery, and then we choose the kids, and then we take them to an NBA game. And this past year, we were scheduled to take 60 kids, so we take 20 at a time. We had 3 NBA games that we went to, and we had 58 that actually participated.
What kind of interactions have you had with the kids that shows what kind of a difference this makes for them?
Well, I mean, the interactions that we've had, at least I'm the school resource officer, so I get to see the kids on a daily basis. I've had several of them come up to me requesting that we continue the program and that they're so excited and they can't wait to do it next year. So if they're in the 7th grade and they're going to the 8th grade, there's a possibility that they can be selected again based on the academics and their behavior and things like that. They could go to another NBA game next year. So several of them have expressed that to me. So,
are there kids that you have talked to that seem like this has changed how they think about the officers they interact with, or maybe their goals of what they want to do later as they get older? Are you seeing any kind of feedback like that?
I would say absolutely. So Sergeant Nared and myself generally are driving a vehicle out to Indianapolis. So he's in a van and I'm in a van. And I call my van the fun van. So what I try to do with the kids is we pick out objects and things that they need to look for as we're driving to Indianapolis. So it kind of keeps them engaged. And then the second trip, one of the youth, as we were driving through Indiana, there were large fields, and he was like amazed by the fields because he has never been outside of Cincinnati. I mean, amazed. And he was thinking it was just a field, but they were actually cornfields and, farmers' fields. And so he had never experienced that. So that was an eye-opener.
That's really neat because you think about it in terms of when I initially look at what the program is, I think, okay, well, they're going to get positive interactions with the police officers. Cool.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Check. They're going to get the motivation to keep their grades up because otherwise they won't be eligible to go on the trip, kind of thing like that.
Mm-hmm.
Check. Okay, we got that. NBA game is cool. Check.
Absolutely.
But just the actual process of going somewhere else out of their neighborhood, out of just the Cincinnati area where they've done all their little junior high lives so far. That opens up a world. That shows them, all
Absolutely.
right, I know every day I have to put my head down in this space,
Yep.
but there are other places to go see things.
Absolutely. So in addition to being selected, once they get there are some other perks involved. They also get a Pacers hat.
Okay.
So they also get food vouchers there, and then they also get the opportunity to go down to the basketball court and shoot a post-game free throw, which they really enjoy. So they really look forward to that. They hear from the other kids who may have already gone to a game. So the next group that's going, they are really looking forward to that, to be able to go down and shoot a free throw on that basketball court.
That's really neat.
Yes.
I'm a little sad that I don't actually want to do junior high again, but I'm a little sad that I'm not eligible for that. I'm a little bit too old for that program, but that's really neat. How long have you been doing this program?
So this program just started this school year for the 24-25 school year. It was an idea that I had, and I brought it to the attention of Officer Wilson because he and we worked together for so long. So when I became the school resource officer, I had the idea. I pitched it to him. He was completely on board. I took it to my chief of police. He embraced it, and I took it to Superintendent Denny. He fully embraced it, and the program, the ball just started rolling.
What does it look like for when you put this together and you're like, this is a great idea. We've got the partnership of the school. We got the partnership of the city. Now you need funding for it. So where does that come from?
So the funding comes from several different businesses. Some funding comes from the school district, and we get some donations from some of our businesses here. They donate to our grant fund, which the dollars that are donated are used strictly for this program. So they make sure they put the CPR program. This is where they want the funds to go, and that's what the funds are used for.
And I think that's something I want to pause and reiterate then, that there is the Forest Park Police Department has a grant program.
Yes.
And that's for this.
Correct. Yes.
And that's so that there's money for outreaches where you get to do these positive programs that are really important and make a difference. But it doesn't have to come from other coffers where they're busy doing other stuff. So,
Yes.
and that is a really good point. Businesses.
Yes.
That's something a business looking to say, hey, I'm part of this community. How can I make sure that I'm putting in building blocks for this community that I'm doing business in?
Absolutely.
And that's one good place to make that happen.
Yes.
Okay, so that means if people have questions about the program, about what are you doing, about how can I be part of it, who can they contact?
They can contact either one of us at the Forest Park Police Department. So Sergeant Nared or Officer Wilson at the police department. They can reach out to me at the Winton Woods School District. I'm stationed at the high school, so they can contact either one of us at either place.
Is there anything else you want to make sure that the community knows about this program?
Well, I would say that to the parents, if they are interested in their kid being part of this program, they can reach out to Sergeant Nared or myself, and we can explain to them what it entails for their kid to be chose to participate or possibly go on this trip. They do not have to be a straight A student, but their behavior needs to be well, because not all kids are straight A students.
Correct.
They're doing what they can do to learn, and not everybody's on the fast pace. So we don't want to leave anybody out. You do not have to be a straight A student. You just got to do well and behave yourself, and you'll be selected. We did have one individual that participated in all 3 games.
Very true.
Yes. So we had some late cancellations, and this kid was phenomenal, well behaved, with no issues with him. And when it came down to, hey, you want to go to the game again? He was like, absolutely.
And that's really key too, because it's really hard sometimes to motivate kids if all the programs have the same requirements. Because those requirements will be good for a certain group, and then there'll be another group that never ever gets circled in because they're not in that same group.
Exactly.
So it looks like this has really worked to be available to as many students as possible.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
Yeah, we thought this through, and we want to be inclusive to everybody, because just not all kids are going to get straight A's. They're just not. It's unrealistic, but they're good kids, they work hard academically, but they're just not going to excel. You know, they're going to be right there, and they need to be rewarded for their effort.
Yeah. Do you have a goal for how many kids you hope to take next year?
It'll probably be the same, I would
At
say.
least the same.
Because
Okay.
60 kids, remember we have 7th and 8th graders, and there's probably about 20,000 people in this arena. And 7th and 8th graders can get lost in the sauce. So we have a meeting prior to, and they're assigned a chaperone. They need to know where they are at all times.
Well, I want to thank you so much for coming to tell me about this. I'm looking forward to sharing this so everyone gets to know about it. Are there any last things you want to make sure the community and the parents know about this program?
No, I think we pretty much covered everything. Yeah, we covered everything, who to reach out to if they're interested. And, get with your kids, and they'll probably talk about it. They'll tell you about it.
Right.
I know they had a few friends that participated in this program and got to go to a game. And they can ask them what their thoughts were.
Absolutely. Something very unique, something very exciting, and for a lot of them, just a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so.
I love that even the ride there.
Yeah.
That's part of the project.
Yes, the ride there is part of the project. So generally, the person that's sitting in my front seat is my navigator. So he has to get us to Indianapolis. I already know how to get there, but his job is
Might
to
I
navigate,
recommend
get us there.
GPS?
That's what he's got. He's got GPS. He needs to tell me how far we're out and how much longer we got to get there. And they got assignments.
That's right.
That's a skill,
That's right.
though,
That's
and
it.
that helps them get out of their area.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
Absolutely.
And they are provided snack bags as well for the trip out there. So each one of them gets a snack bag full of little goodies to have.
Well, thank you so much for
Yes.
coming in.
Thank you.
welcome.
I can't wait to share this with everyone and let them know. I know that some of the junior high students know about it. I don't know that the parents, through the telephone game, always get to hear everything all the way through.
Yes.
So I love the chance that we can bring them this primary source information, so
Yes.
Absolutely.
they'll get to plan and encourage their kids with it. And what a neat program!
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And thank you for watching, because that means you want to stay informed on what's happening in the Winton Woods School District. Remember, you can always find out absolutely everything that's happening in the district on the website, and make sure you're informed with what's going on about things like this program, but also all the other things going on in the Winton Woods School District. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.